Hello Future Tech leaders, I'm Sindhuja. Based on my own experience, I know that learning the right skills can shape our future. What if I say learning was as thrilled as the tech world itself? There we go. At CloudFoundation, that's exactly what you will experience. From day one, you will be immersed in the interactive sessions and expert-led courses that covers most of the widely used technologies in the zone of data science to cloud computing, which brings more light to the life of a techie. I'm so excited to help you and unlock the true potential of a technology. Well, then why to wait? Let's see what it unfolds.
So NetSuite is the web browser that you have to get into. So this is how the page looks like. And when you click on login, usually you would get the login credentials. The first name, usually it will be the email address, and then the password will be set up by the administrator, or they will ask you to reset the password at the first login. But since we are in training now, we do not have access to we don't log in the way I've showed you now. There is something called as training tenant. I'm pretty sure this is the first time that you are taking a look at the NetSuite screen. So what you see here in the center, this is called the center tab. So these center tabs that you have would actually differ from various roles. Now, what I have logged into now is an administrative role. You see this? I also have an accountant role and a CEO role as well. So if I switch into these roles, that is when you will actually find that the center tabs will change. I will show them to you a little later when we get into the roles and access. For now, I'm logged in as an administrator. So the administrator on NetSuite will have full access to everything. Whatever you install, let that be a fixed assets or, any additional bundle that you install everything. NetSuite will have access to all these things. So let us go one after the. What exactly are these symbols and everything that you see over here? I will show them what all these things are. Now, once you log in, if you scroll down, there is something called as change email. So if you want to change your email, this is where you click and change the email address for the login. And this is where you change the password. So usually when you log in for the first time, it will ask you to set up 3 security questions. So if I click on this update security questions now, it will give me an option to change the security questions which I have already set up with the current password. But then when the first time that you are logging in, these are some of the questions that you have to select. So usually what I do is, there's a very good chance that you might forget this question and answers. So what I do is, I select what was your childhood nickname. And what I do is I'll just type in nickname NICKNAME. That's it. The last word from the question can actually be an answer. So you will never forget what is your response to the question. So if you say, what is the middle name of your oldest child? I just typed in CHILD as child. What is, favorite historical figure? 100% will forget this question, so I type in FIGURE. On this role I've got for this person, for Kishore, I've got 3 roles assigned. One is an accountant. The other one is an administrator. The other one is a CEO. So you can switch between the roles. You can click on the roles and switch between them. I will show you these things when we get into the role management. As of now, I just wanted to let you know that I'm in the administrator access. So administrator access will have all the access. I mean the full access to everything from delete, edit, modification, addition and everything administrator would have access to that. And then we went into the dashboard. This is called the home dashboard. Whenever you click on this home, this is the home dashboard that you will get. So for the first time when you log in, this is where you set up your preferences. You scroll down and there is something called a settings over here. Under the setting you have change email. If you want to change your email, change password. Updating security questions for the first time when you log into NetSuite. Well, I've shown you one other thing as well. So when you log in for the first time, the system will ask you to set up 3 security questions. So you can select your response or you can select your questions based on that. You can give your responses and save these responses somewhere, because if you log into a different system, let us say you want to log into a mobile or you're using a different laptop, then it will ask you for those 3 security questions for the first time so that you can actually give those security questions. We'll come back to the settings portal once again. So whatever you're seeing here are called the portlets. So this is one portlet. This is a custom content portlet. This is a KPI meter. We will get back to it. I will. We are not yet into these portlets. I will just show you the navigation first. We'll see what all different options do we have. What is the search option? What is the advanced help? And then we'll get into this portlets. So this is recent records. The first option that you see on the NetSuite is, so let us say you went into transactions, you went into purchase orders and you want to enter a purchase order. If you click on purchase order and then you want to go into the purchase orders once again, you don't have to go all through this navigation. You can actually come here and then go into this recent records automatically. So you see these 10 recent records or 12 recent records that you see on the screen here. These were all opened a little while ago, and that is the reason I am able to see it here. So if you click on this, it will automatically take you to that particular transaction. That is your recent records. And this is shortcuts. So if you want, whenever you go into purchase orders, let us say this is a purchase orders page. I'll show you the navigation later on, but I just wanted to show you how the favorites are added. So here you can actually click on add to shortcuts. And then save it. You can actually rename that as well. Just in case. If you want to rename it, you can do that too. So once the shortcuts are added, next time whenever you go here, you will see the shortcut here. So likewise, if I'm from a purchasing department, I will have purchase order, item receipts, vendor bills, vendor payments, usually all the records that I access. So instead of going into this navigation and then accessing these purchase orders, what I want to do is I want to add them as purchase orders. So you can click on this, set up shortcuts. And when you do that, see if you have multiple shortcuts. It has a sales order, vendor, bill and everything. You can actually move them in between these screens. Move to the top, move to bottom. All these things you will be able to do it. So initially the setup shortcuts wasn't there because I did not set up the purchase order shortcut that we had over there. So that is the reason. Let me add another shortcut, by the way. So let's do one thing. We'll also add the enter requisitions shortcut. requisition. I'm adding it as a shortcut. So once I click on the dashboard, you go back to your shortcuts and you will find, I think it's refreshing. So if you see, there are two shortcuts now. So if you click on Setup Shortcuts, you can actually drag and drop these things. Requisition on the top or at the bottom, or purchase order at the bottom, anything. You just hold on these 6 dots that you have here and then you will be able to drag and drop them. And then you can also select to open in a new window. So whenever you click on select open in a new window, what happens is, even if you click on the shortcuts page, even if you click on this, it won't open in the same page. Rather, it goes to the next page. That's it. So you can. That is the functionality of the setup shortcuts. Any questions there? So whenever we have a change in roles or kind of a different job type for doing the job, we can add the shortcuts so that later on we can bring them up, whichever we use frequently. That is all the concept. Absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. You're spot on. So depending on the roles and depending on what I frequently use, we set up the shortcuts over there so that they can directly click on this and go to it, rather than going into these transactions, purchases, payables, all these things into navigation. We do not want to do that. Now, what do you see over here is called as a global search. So NetSuite has given us a provision that let us say I want to search a vendor. I will show you these navigations later on. Do not worry about that. What I'm trying to see is I'm just trying to get a vendor name for us here so that we can search that vendor name. So let us say I want to search Hornetech. So you click on it, you can type it and the vendor comes up automatically. So likewise is if there is items with horn or any other information for that matter, let us say bank. So if you click on bank, so anything which has bank in front of it, you will be able to see there is a Bank of America vendor. There is a bank register page. And these are the current page results that you have transactions bank write checks. So bank is one of the functionality on NetSuite. So what you see down here are the navigations that you have. Write checks belongs to transaction bank write checks. Transaction bank write checks list. Transaction bank write checks search. So all these where you can see transactions, bank and write checks. So the global search is given in such a way that you will be able to find everything which is related to that. And if you want to search only a vendor, let us say, this is how you do it. You can also search with 3 letters also, and this is how you get it. So you're trying to minimize your search. You don't want to display everything that starts with bank or ends with bank or anything as such. You don't want to display everything that you want to display. So this also can be used, and this will give fetch every result which is associated with the bank. Let that be in between or at the start in reconcile bank statement. You see this. This was not there when I searched with bank because that was only the initial bank that I searched with. But now, since I searched with percentile symbol, it will give me every information which has got a bank in between it. And by the way, this will display about 15 to 20 results only depending. This is also a preference. You can actually set up how many records you want NetSuite to throw when you're searching with something. And what about the rest of the results? They would actually be here. If you click on Show 33 more results, this page will display everything which is already there. So with bank, you have match bank data status, reconcile bank statement, banking import history. All these things would be available on NetSuite. So this is how your global search actually works. Anything you know, most of the users do not know what the exact navigation is for any record. Let that be for bank or let it be for any vendor they want to search, any customer they want to search. They do not know that they have to go into lists, relationships, vendors, and then if they go into the vendors, they can actually type here and then search for Hontech. That is when the vendor would be displayed. However, if you can just search it here with the Hontech, it automatically brings up that particular record that you are searching for. So this is a very useful tool that NetSuite has, wherein everything can be searched within the system using the global search. Any questions on that? Great. The default search shows the 50 results. Or did you already set up as a 50 for this? No, I didn't set up anything. I was just searching. That's it. So by default, it would show the results up to 50. Good question there. So that is a part of the preferences. I will show that to you. When we get into the set preferences, there is an option wherein how many results need to be displayed as part of the search, as part of the list. When you are selecting the vendor on a purchase order, how many vendors do you want that to be displayed? Everything is part of the preferences. I will show that to you. That's a good question. Coming to the next part, which is this. So this is also equal. It is more or less same as the add to shortcuts. So this is a shortcut that you have, mostly used. You can also personalize this particular option in here. However, there are only a set option. There are only a few options that you can set up as the favorite over here. You will not see the purchase orders. You will not see everything. If you want to set up everything as favorites, then this is the option. So this particular quick access, this is called the quick access. So quick access has got a few records like events, phone calls, tasks, customers, contacts, opportunities, sales orders, and so on and so forth. So you can actually select, let us say I want an employee. If you select employee and then save it, it will be a part of the quick access as employee. There are like 30 records which you can set up as part of the quick access, but not everything. However, on the favorite, on the add to shortcuts favorite page, you can add any number of records and from anywhere. Do you understand the difference between both of them now? Guys, can you hear me? Oh, I thought I got disconnected or something. There was no response. So, coming to the next one, this is a help button that you have on NetSuite, which is very, very, very helpful. So, when you click on this help, what happens? This will open up a whole lot of help topics for you. Here you can actually search for anything that you want, and then it displays complete information about all these things. Blanket, purchase orders. Purchase orders. There are 557 results found on the help topic. Now, if you do not want to search here, what NetSuite does is if you go into the purchase orders, let us say I clicked on purchase orders and now I click on the help topic. Now I click on the help button. It automatically takes me to the entering purchase order screen. You see this. This is the beauty of NetSuite. So, anything you go to the vendor dashboard, you select it will give you the navigation. It will give you every step which is related to this purchase order that needs to be done. You can select your forms. You can select your vendor fields. All these things can be selected. And one step after the other, everything is listed down here as to what you need to do in order for you to book a purchase order. That is how the help center works. So let us say I went into the sales order instead of the purchase orders. And then if we click on the help, it will take us to the sales order page. So, likewise, wherever you navigate on NetSuite, if you go into sales orders or lists or reports or analytics or documents, wherever you are going into this NetSuite, and if you click on help, it will automatically take you to this help page related to that particular topic. So these topics that you see on the left hand side are the elaboration of the topics that you have. Order management. You have your sales orders. You have your purchase orders down there. You have your cash sales. You have order guides. This is all related to your customer lifetime value. All these things are some of the other functionality which is there on NetSuite. If you need all this information, then you have to get into help topics. And one of the things on help topics is called as NetSuite. You can click on support and go to suite answers. You click on the suite answers and it will take you to a page wherein you can ask all your questions. Whatever questions you have on NetSuite or anything related to NetSuite, any topic, you can just type in and then it will guide you what to do. Entering work orders, transactions, manufacturing. What is the navigation to those work orders? How you have to enter these work orders? You know what is the completion of a work order. All these things will be visible. So you can go to suite answers from here or on the help center page itself. You have suite answers. You can click on the suite answers. It will take you to the same page. So these are the different support options that you have on NetSuite. And one important thing is if you click on these videos, it will give you all extensive videos like in a NetSuite Basics. If you want to know, let's NetSuite Basics. You can click on that and you will get whole lot of basic videos over here. How to change your NetSuite password, running simultaneous NetSuite sessions, navigating workbooks, navigating NetSuite. All these things are played as how to set up your two-factor authentication for the users. So if you click on this, you will have videos. You don't have to go to YouTube or you don't have to search anywhere. All the videos will be played here on this red suite. You can actually set up the two-factor authentication. Every video is available. That is how you access the help. And then you have user guides as well. So remember yesterday I was talking about business requirement documents, functional requirement documents. As part of the implementation, you have to prepare extensive documents for the clients with all the navigation steps and everything. So these user guides would actually help you in preparing those BRDs, FRDs, whatever you have the technical documents. If you click on this, fixed assets management or electronic bank payments, let us say you click on this. So extensive documentation along with the screenshots will be available for you under this electronic payment guides or whatever any topic that you select. So this is a 208-page topic for a simple electronic bank payments. This is an extension to the purchase orders, by the way. I'll show it to you how the electronic payments work, but this is exactly what you get out of it. So you have all the screenshots, how to set up the navigation would be available. So all these things are there as part of the user guides that you can download from NetSuite. You can download and you can keep them with you as well. You just have to click on download and all these guides will get downloaded. You have multi-book accounting and projects guide. All these things are different topics on NetSuite, and for every topic you have a user guide which is readily available. You just have to tweak them and reduce the number of pages because people usually they do not want a 200-page guide or something like that. So you can reduce the number of pages. You can prepare your own document based out of these user guides that you have on NetSuite. Any questions on that? Thank you. So this is a developer's page. I'm not going to go into that in deep because we are not doing the technical training as such, but anything related to technical like training resources, user guides, suite, cloud development frameworks, the coding, how is it done? Everything is a part of this developer's page. This is a developer documentation that you have. And this is a new release. When NetSuite has released the latest version and what are the amendments in that latest version? Usually NetSuite just releases once in 6 months the release preview. So you can come here and see what are the different enhancements that NetSuite has done in this particular 2023.2 version. So that's about the help topic, guys. Any questions on this page? By the way, the reason I'm showing you all these things is because there is a getting started session that I have shown you yesterday. So we discussed all these things with the client during that getting started session. And you also have to understand what all these options are, how to navigate through, help you know how to pull up the user guides. Where do you have the training videos? All these things are helpful for you. This is a feedback wherein you can give feedback to the NetSuite support system. If you want any enhancement or if you think that NetSuite has to improve in certain areas, then you can give a feedback. Any questions on that? Coming to the dashboard again. We are done with the recent records. We are done with the favorites. We are done with navigation. Everything you know. This is how you navigate. Now, I spoke about master data the other day and I spoke about transactional data. So, master data would be a part of the setup. Everything that you see here, the company information, enable features, All these things are a part of the master data. And where do you have the transactions? Everything is listed under the transactions. You have purchase orders, sales orders, manufacturing work orders. So all three systems that you have here at purchases, sales and then manufacturing, everything is listed down here. If you had projects enabled, the projects also would be under this transaction page only. Any questions there? So this is all under setup. You will have master data under lists. You will have master data like accounts, currencies, items, units of measure. Everything is a master data under the lists and setup. And anything that is listed on the transactions will be your transactional data. These are purchase orders. These are vendor bills, sales orders, invoices. We will see all these navigations. Everything will be shown in detail when we are discussing about the processes, but I'm just showing you the navigation as to how these things work. So when I'm saying master data, the accounts will be used extensively in every process. You can use them in purchase. You can use them in sales. You can use them in work orders. So all these things are used over and over again, and that is the reason it is a master data. And it is created only once within the system. And then you have employees. This is where you have the employees. This is where you have the relationships. Relationships are nothing but your vendors, customers, and everything. So all these are your master data, setup, and lists. Support, we've already checked. And finally, do not forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel.